Welcome to Philly by Night. Philadelphia by Night is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition game set in the city of brotherly love and ensconced in the world of darkness. As such, we tackle a lot of dark, difficult, and disturbing topics. This game is intended for those 18 plus. Viewer discretion is advised. The trigger warnings and content warnings for these sessions include, but are not limited to, body horror, personal horror, mutilation, manipulation, gaslighting, use and abuse of disciplines, physical discipline, verbal correction, raised voices, angry tones, the possibility of violence, the possibility of final character death, starvation and its effects, fictional religious extremism, kindred politics, and my own personal favorite, methods and mentions of torture. And with that, let us see what the darkness holds. Thomas. As the sun sinks below the Philadelphia skyline, it is April 27th, 2025. Thomas, we woke up a little bit hungry tonight, didn't we?
Just a little bit.
So, as you rouse from your day sleep, you find yourself unalone in your bed. You can feel two bodies pressed against you. You look to your left and you see the pale, milky, dead eyes of Camille. And as you turn in the other direction, you catch the same eyes set in your brother Teddy's face. You hear a gurgling sound come from Teddy's lips as he says the words, traitor. And little flecks of vitae spray out of his mouth and onto his lips as he gurgles the word again and again. As you sit bolt upright in bed, you see a third form at the end of your bed. This is less the identifiable shape of a man and more a massive behemoth of a shadow. Its eyes stare at you like miniature suns. Control, it growls before it lunges for you. Its massive black smoke form mere inches from your face before it simply evaporates, along with the body of your former lover and murdered brother, leaving you once again alone. How is Thomas feeling right now?
Not great. He's going to reach for two things. One, his sun medallion, and two, his gun. Because while they might not be real, his gun is, and so is his face.
Gun is very real. Gun is most real. As you wrap your hand around the pistol, you feel its cold, familiar weight. And there is a thought that crosses your mind. How many lives have I taken with this? So casually. This is the thing I reach for the quickest to solve my problems. And how many, Thomas? 5? 10? 20? How many lives has Thomas taken since he could hold a pistol?
He stopped counting a long time ago.
And that is probably the scariest part of that thought. Because you realize you have taken so many lives, ended so many stories, snuffed so many lights, that counting them is now somehow a fruitless action. But as you grip onto that medallion, there is a warmth there. There is more than a warmth. As it grows warmer and warmer and warmer still, until it feels like you are holding a metal spoon that was just used to stir a large pot of boiling something. It is not so hot that it causes you pain, but it does cause discomfort in this moment. You know that if you hold on to this too tightly for too long, it may just begin to burn you.
Mm-hmm.
And your hand kind of reflexes and it drops to the bed. And you can see that while you are not burned, there is a bit of discoloration to your dead flesh, where that warmth was getting almost to the point of damage. And you look down at the medallion again. And when you touch it again, it is cool to the touch, as though it had been, just like it had been, sitting on your nightstand all day. Do you put it on?
Yes.
As you put it on, it sits heavy on your chest. Like it is not just a piece of comfort, but it is a weight. Not crushing, but noticeable. So, from here, does Thomas get himself put together?
Yes. He's gonna take a shower because whenever he gets those kind of visitations, he needs to. He does not like, it, especially the shadow thing.
Oh yeah. The Shadow Man is off-putting for sure. But as you kind of wash that rousing from you, you take a deep but unnecessary breath to steady yourself. And we decide that perhaps going hunting before we dive into the spooky ookies might be a good idea. So we go out and we go to hunt among our usual preferred prey. It's not difficult for you to find an individual. You're able to find him, you're able to feed from him. And as you begin to drink, the blood you drink tastes not wrong, but hollow. Like how a Diet Coke tastes after you've gotten used to drinking regular Coke. Like the flavor is the same, but it's missing something. It is a pale imitation of the good stuff. As you get yourself an intense, empty resonance. He's okay, buddy. I have plans for you. They're great plans. You're gonna fucking love them. So, as Thomas is heading back to, yes, thank you, Apple Watch. I know I have a high heart rate. I'm storytelling. I took 3 sips of Monster and I'm storytelling. Leave me alone. So, you head back to your apartment, and you would find that Drew, while still home, is kind of puttering in her room. You can hear her shuffling about, likely keeping to herself, getting ready for the evening. But as you stand in the living room of your apartment, Can you please make for me I will tell you in just a moment. Why don't you go ahead and make for me a resolve and you know what? No, a composure and resolve. We'll call it a composure and resolve.
3.
Okay. 3 is good. Now for me to make a roll. Okay. This is good. This is good. As you are standing there in your apartment, everything kind of washing over you, you blink to shake the cobwebs of earlier this evening out. And as you open your eyes, the world around you is in shades of black and white. And your apartment is no longer as empty as you thought it was. You can see at least 24 floating torsos that are just moving about your apartment. They look like, people, just nothing from the waist down.
Like,
And they're this pale gray, translucent, almost as if they weren't really there. You've seen the old Hollywood tricks. These look like how Hollywood portrays ghosts.
as somebody who's recently watched the first original Ghostbusters, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe I have also recently watched the first Ghostbusters again for
So
the.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, some of it's not aging very well, but
No. There's a lot of that movie that did not age well. Primarily Venkman, yeah.
Anyways, Thomas will automatically in his brain be like, "There are ghosts. There are ghosts in my place."
Yep. And the whole world is like, like an old 60s TV show. Everything is in black and white and shades of gray. The lights that are on kind of begin to hurt almost. And try as you might, nothing seems to be changing. Your vision has not, you blink, you rub your eyes, and your vision has not changed. It is still that black and white and shades of gray, and just at least 24 floating torsos. Some who are now paying attention to you. They have turned to look at you. And go ahead and give me an intelligence and wits. I told you I was going to get you.
He's not a smart boy.
He is not a smart. I mean, he is, but he's kind of going through some shit right now.
Yeah.
So, I can understand that impacting his performance. But while you don't recognize all of them, there are a couple that you do recognize. Some of your, we'll call them greatest hits. The high profile faces that you have murdered, you can recognize. there's enough here to suggest that every ghost that is here you have personally created.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Because if I am remembering correctly, Thomas's ledger is dripping red. Being a former soldier and hitman for the outfit, like that alone claims a ton of lives, both before and after your embrace. And how is Thomas feeling in this moment?
He's kind of concerned because, he watches movies and sometimes he watches horror movies, and seeing ghosts usually does not bode well for the person that has killed said ghosts when they were alive.
Yeah, typically when you start seeing the faces of the people that you've killed, you're in for a bad time. But do you leave? Do you call? What is Thomas doing in response to
Uh,
this?
well, he's going through the Rolodex in his brain, trying to
Mhm.
think of who he would reach out to. Uh, of course, immediate come to mind Liam, because he knew Liam does weird shit. But Liam's not here, so who else is he going to call?
Yep.
He's
Unfortunately,
thinking,
in the wake of Oscar's death, Liam left the city because he
yeah.
needed to grieve in
So,
his own way.
um, he does eventually actually think of Rowan.
Okay.
So he was going to try to give Rowan a call.
So you do. You are able to fish your phone out of your pocket and you are able to call Rowan. And you hear that familiar chipper voice on the other end. Sunshine Cleaners, how can I help you?
Hey, I seem to have an issue of the Ghostbusters variety.
And you hear a sigh on the other end. Okay, Seifer's tied up with some things. I will see what I can do. I'll be over in 10. And the phone just goes quiet. You hear him hang
Okay.
up. But that gives you 10 long minutes to sit here and reckon with the idea that you are surrounded by the literal ghosts of your past. And those 10 minutes, they tick by like hours before you hear that knock, that soft knock on the door. Sunshine Cleaners.
Uh, Thomas is going to go to the door and open it.
And Rowan will slip in. He's got, he's in his Sunshine Cleaners coveralls. He's got what looks like a tool bag in one hand, a cleaning caddy in the other, and he moves over to the counter and sets both of them down while you close up the door. And he finally has a moment to look at you. He's like, oh, this is not good.
What's not good?
And he doesn't say much, but he kind of like grabs you by the shoulders and maneuvers you to the bathroom and puts you in front of the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, you see your eyes have gone completely black. There is no color to your eye but black. There are the faintest black veins that radiate out from your eyes, across your skin, up your eyelids, into your forehead. They look like distended veins.
Is this something Thomas has seen before on other kindred?
Yes, Thomas has seen other kindred, even kindred in this city, because you've been on missions with Lenka. You have seen other kindred have this look when they have activated sight that is powered by entropy, that
Hmm.
that power that they call Oblivion.
Thomas is gonna look at Rowan and be like, I don't know where this came from. I can't do this.
You will have to learn how to retire that phrase. Now, let's get you sitting down and try to see if we can't turn those off. And
Okay.
he guides you, and as he moves you through the apartment, the spirits that are there kind of drift apart as you and Rowan. They seem more to be avoiding Rowan than
Mm-hmm.
you, but as Rowan moves through the apartment, they do just kind of like spread apart, almost seemingly unconsciously. Like you've ever been to a party where you've moved through a crowd and people have just kind of gotten the fuck out of your way without really knowing why. That's what you got going on right now.
Okay.
And he maneuvers you over to the couch and he tells you to close your eyes and to try to think about literally anything other than the ghosts in your apartment and the fact that your eyes are blacker than pitch right now.
Okay. Well,
Try to think, if you can, maybe some happy thoughts.
Thomas is gonna close his eyes, and he is actually the first thing that comes to his mind is the night that Samantha performed at that club, and she did the lounge singer act.
Oh, that's funny. Thinking happy thoughts, and we're thinking about Samantha.
That's the first like thing that he could
Uh,
think of was like
Play it
that
cool,
was recent.
hotshot. Play it cool. Yeah.
No, well, it caught his attention. So something that caught his
it
attention should be able to pull him out.
it caught more than just his attention.
Yeah,
That shit's all over the news right now.
yeah. Thomas
But
keeps up
let's
with the
see.
news.
Go ahead and give me a composure and resolve. You may add one die.
Okay, and add one die. Okay. Do 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 do. We're at
Okay.
4.
As you think back to the juke joint that night where Samantha performed. It was a couple nights ago, so it was like just recently. So
Fresh in his memory.
yeah, it's
As a
like
man
fresh,
who doesn't
fresh.
have a lot of happy memories, happy thoughts,
Right?
it's a
No,
good
I
thought to
get
him.
it. I get it. I still got to
Pleasant.
give you a little bit of shit for it. Um, I mean, after all, we both know how women can be.
Hey, he's getting better.
He is,
A
and I
lot
would like
better.
to be the first to admit that Thomas is he's a little shit, but he's our little shit. God damn it, he's
Yes.
trying. Mostly everybody else's patience, but he's trying. And as you open your eyes back up, the world is back in color. You no longer see those ghosts around you.
All right. Yay.
And sure enough, as sure as Rowan said that Sifra would be along any minute because he called her on the way, there is another knock on the door.
All right. Uh, I guess Thomas is going to get up and go answer that.
Yeah. And as you answer the door, there, sure as the flowers follow the rain, there is Sifra standing in the doorway, having come back from whatever it was she was up to while she was on her way over after she received Rowan's call. And Sifra, when you received the call from Rowan, Rowan was unsure what he was going to find at Thomas's, only that Thomas said that it was a problem of the Ghostbuster variety. But even now, you can still see the faintest traces of black veins around Thomas's eyes as they are slowly receding back into his eye sockets.
Huh.
And you hear Rowan from inside the apartment. He says he doesn't know how it happened.
That's not true. He has to know how it happened. Hi, Thomas.
Hi. Come on in. Things are a little weird.
And Rowan goes, "Well, go ahead, Thomas. Tell her."
I don't know. I woke up hungry. Had the I don't know if it happens to you too, but sometimes you see not apparitions. When you're too hungry, sometimes you see things.
Insert the obligatory. Yeah, the time knife. We've all seen it.
Okay.
No, but
I went
Rowan
out to
kind
eat.
Rowan will nod at that. Like he's obviously heard of the beast doing things when you are hungry.
I went out to eat. I came back, closed my eyes for a second, opened them up. Everything was black and white, and there were ghosts. And then Rowan said my eyes turned black and weird. And
so when did you learn the sight?
I didn't. Nobody taught me anything with this.
You did what you just described as Oblivion sight.
Where would I learn it from?
I
Oh,
don't know.
typically either Lasombra or Hakata. And you will watch as Rowan's eyes flick black for a moment and then back to their normal color. It comes as naturally to my family as breathing.
Okay. Oscar never taught me yet.
Not
You
Liam,
didn't
not
teach me
anybody.
anything.
Not anybody back in Chicago. This is
No.
And neither of your current coterie mates.
As far as I know, neither of them can do it.
Huh.
And have you recently come into contact with Oblivion users?
That
And
wasn't recent. That night on the assignment.
because then it occurs to you, Thomas, that was the night you got your black sun. That was the night that everyone on that mission, you, Liam, Oscar, John, and Benny, all received some form of mark. It looks like a tattoo, but it occasionally moves. You can almost feel it like an invasive species under your skin. And as you think about it, that mark on your left wrist kind of wriggles.
Ew. Blech. Okay. Well, at that
Ooh,
point,
you're infected.
Thomas is gonna like.
Get it off, get it off, get it off. Get it out.
Ooh,
He's gonna twitch and and he's gonna pull up his sleeve.
you're
And
infected. Seefer's just gonna kind of poke at it.
have
And
you
it's
recently?
almost magnetic.
Yep. Like it reaches out towards, not like off of your skin, but like the mark physically moves on your skin to be closer to her finger.
Hmm.
Kind of like a woolly willy. If you remember
Mm.
the woolly willy boards when we were kids.
Mm-mm. I don't remember that one.
It was like a magnet with iron filings, and you could make the
Oh,
guy
that
have different
guy.
the
That
different
guy.
hairstyles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I remember.
It was just iron filings in a cardboard blister pack, and we had fun with that for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I'm gonna take some ibuprofen now. Thanks.
I'm right behind you, bud. I'm right behind you. I actually have a bottle within arm's reach.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's kind of how it moves. It almost
Thomas
moves
is-
like iron filings or a ferrofluid.
Thomas's expression is a combination of like disgusted and horrified.
And now Sifra's just kind of wiggling her finger around, moving it around your arm.
Thomas is going to take his hand back, and pull his sleeve back down, and go, "That's enough."
You're infected. When did you get infected?
I'm guessing the Praetorian assignment.
And this was back when Rowan and Sifra were relatively kept in the dark about certain operations that happened in the city. So you can tell just by looking at Rowan that he's not familiar with what you're talking about.
Hmm.
So you're saying that like it means something.
Okay.
So maybe if you
We-
could explain to us what happened, we might be able to help.
Me, two of my former coterie mates, and I guess in an attempt to bond, were taken by John and Benny to a cemetery.
Yep.
And we went down and under, and there were cultists and whites, I believe.
There were cultists, there were whites, that's where you found Bethany, and more
We
importantly,
found Bethany and rescued her.
Kraken.
The Kraken that John and Benny took care of. Well, we got Bethany to safety.
And Rowan will turn to Sifra. Kraken? The Kraken of Stygia?
Sounds like it.
What is that?
I've never seen it before.
There are stories, and they're just stories, of beasts that roam the Howling Black. Things like the Kraken of Stygia, fearsome, tentacled beasts made out of pure oblivion. That much concentrated oblivion in the city would. Did they perform any rituals before they defeated?
They were, I believe they were. I think they had Bethany up. I don't know if she was a sacrifice or you being used as some sort of ward. I don't know much about this stuff.
And you'll see Rowan look at Sifra because you're seeing he's starting to teeter to out of his depth and is now deferring to the person who knows more about the topic at hand.
Oh, that kind of concentration. Do you know about any ichor?
Ichor?
Yeah.
The only
I
ichor
don't-
I know about is licorice.
It's like
Uh,
black tar or like black blood. Were you touched with any of that?
I both in character and out of character probably don't remember.
So, yeah, all five of you really were at some point in time had this ichor on you.
Mm. Yeah. Apparently, I guess.
Really? And it made this mark.
Yeah. I think.
Huh. You do know the scientific observation that for every reaction there is an opposite but equal reaction, right?
Most kids learn about Newton in grade school, well, specifically that one.
Well, he kind of remembers.
Yeah, to be fair, he's further away from that portion of his education than Rowan is.
Yeah, and he did drop out of high school, so
Yeah, so like,
he kind of remembers it.
there was about the clicky clack desk toys that
Yeah,
are
like most executives seem to have.
yeah. So like you are familiar with the merchandise of Newton's theories, but not necessarily the theories themselves.
Yes.
God, that is such a Venture thing too. Like, I know the merch. I couldn't tell you the lore.
Right.
So.
So let's pretend. Okay. So you know what I am, right?
I actually can't remember if
kind of
Thomas
cute and
ever found
intensely
out.
creepy. Thomas did find out. He found out
Okay.
that most of it went over his head. But you did
Okay.
find out that Sifra is what they call a Magar, which is what happens when you embrace either a changeling or a full-blown fae.
Okay. Yeah, he gets the idea. Okay.
Like, yeah, you're kind of cute but intensely creepy. Like, I don't know what you're like.
I don't.
You're like us, but not. Like, I don't know what you're asking about here, kid.
You know magic, right?
Magic.
Your types learn blood sorcery.
I mean,
you would know that Mithraians have a
can.
They can. Not every Mithraean learns blood sorcery, but it is something that is innate to your specific bloodline.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm aware that some can do it.
Okay. So, do you know what fuels blood sorcery? I'll give you a hint. It's in the name.
Okay. Blood.
How about what powers fey magic?
Fairy dust?
Close enough.
I mean, essentially, yes. We basically are powered by the creativity of life in general.
The weave.
Right. And then there's Oblivion ceremonies, rituals, and powers, which are powered by Oblivion, by the end, by entropy. by the sheer lack of being.
Okay.
And
The nothing.
much like the Fae are greatly powered according to kindred standards with their source of power, Oblivion beasts are the same. Think of them like the antimatter to fairy matter.
Okay. I guess. So would you guys like oil and water sort of thing?
Less so than you'd think.
The one thing that we do know, Rowan cuts in, that is antithetical to Oblivion is faith. And if I had to guess, it's what's kept your symptoms at bay for as long as they have.
Okay.
But that's only been a mask of the symptoms. If you're starting to manifest Oblivion, that's... I don't know much, but I know that that is a bad thing.
Okay. And how do I get rid of it?
That's the fun part. You don't. You can mitigate it some.
But that does suggest that there's a leak somewhere in the city. This only happens when Oblivion is heavily concentrated. You heard about, and he'll turn to Sifra, you heard about what happened down in Georgia, right?
With the wolves?
And the Oblivion?
Oh, yeah. It's the kiwi, right?
The Servire, yes.
Okay, so what had happened was there was this leak and it wasn't taken care of, and the leak manifested in various kindred and various people and various wolves and things, and they had to do a big old ritual to get rid of it because it was like opening up a black hole inside a person.
I would like to not be a black hole. Okay. I think I remember that group saying that there was more.
If they were performing some kind of ritual and opened a hole to Stygia,
Oh, wouldn't that be exciting?
sure, if you consider the total annihilation of the entire city and then some to be exciting.
I mean, isn't it? Please tell me that head rub is something Thomas is doing in character.
Oh yes. Yes.
Thomas and Rowan likely both look like they're just like, whose fucking side are you on? This is bad. This is very, very bad.
But isn't it also interesting?
From an academic standpoint, it is fascinating, Dragonfly. I would love to study this from a distance.
Yeah. From a non-academic standpoint, this is concerning.
But
Especially
since we have it right here in front of us, we might as well figure it out. What's the worst that could happen? We make the hole bigger and the whole city gets swallowed up? That's going to happen if we do nothing anyway, so. And
Well, I guess first thing is
Rowan just kind of wanders over to one of the windows and just like stares out across the city like
first thing
shell
is
shocked.
to find the leak. And in order to do that, have an idea. It will also mitigate your symptoms a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
I can't take what's already there. At least not all of it. But if I were to take some of it, we could use it like a metal detector to find the leak. Because it'll be drawn to the largest concentration of Oblivion.
And Rowan will walk back over from the window to his bag. And he will start pulling items out. An iron needle, a mason jar, 2 kind of lumpy and misshapen candles that look like they were just kind of made by somebody mushing layer after layer of wax on top of one another until you kind of had this kind of sort of pillar candle. But like it definitely looks like they were just like these thick layers of wax, like somebody took like wax patties and just kind of roughly stacked them on top of each other and then ran a wick up through it.
Okay.
And along with that, he pulls out a jar of what looks like very fine white powder. Another jar of what looks to be some kind of maybe that almost looks like the black sea salt that you see in those fancy schmancy cooking boutique stores. Just various occult and esoteric things. And just kind of lays them out on the counter for Sifra to pick through.
And if we could take a little bit out, that might mitigate your symptoms, although it will eventually grow back. It's like a liver.
Then he'll hand Sifra the empty mason jar first.
So, do you remember how the mark on your arm reacted to me?
Okay.
I am a higher source of Oblivion.
Okay.
Right? Given that I am Hakata?
Okay.
Sort of?
50-50? Rowan's just like separating out various ritual implements. The iron needle in question is, well, it's less of an iron needle and more of a... Has Thomas ever seen Dune?
Likely.
Has Kit ever seen Dune?
Which one?
It doesn't much matter because whatever one is more prominent in your mind is going to be what it is when I tell you. It looks more like a Gom Jabbar.
Okay.
Then, so it's not like this little iron needle. It's like
it's got some
heft and girth to it.
Okay.
Girth. Anyway,
Thomas is just he's gonna take off his jacket and lay it on the couch and go, okay. While in the back of my mind, oh yeah, I'm a sacrifice.
Yay, I'm a sacrifice.
So the procedure is we take a little bit out. The iron is to make sure that it's not solely reactant to me. And then we'll use it to find the leak.
Okay.
So Rowan kind of like directs you to sit down, probably at like your little kitchen island. I'm picturing like counter height stools and like one of those like very modern but slick city apartments.
Yeah.
So he sits you down on one of the stools, kind of directs you to lay your arm on the lay your arm flat on the counter. So you do.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives a look over to Sifra before he moves to grab the he's the one that picks up the iron needle and goes over to your mark. He gives a look over to Sifra like, ready the jar, Kronk.
And Sifra has the jar. She also has well, you're not entirely sure what it is, but you can kind of feel it. It's the feeling of static electricity just crawling over the arm.
Okay.
Like, not that pins and needles numb, but like that, you know how you're outside during a lightning storm and you can kind of sort of like, you're in the danger zone and should probably go inside now because you can feel your arm hairs kind of starting to stand up.
Yeah.
That feeling, that like the faintest of static electricity in the air. Like, on a winter day when it's dry and the next metal thing you touch is going to shock the ever-loving shit out of you. That charged feeling, but only on your left arm and specifically concentrated on that mark.
Okay.
And Rowan very, very carefully but purposefully moves the needle down and pierces in the dead center of the mark. And the mark kind of recoils a little bit. You see the arms of the sun just kind of like begin to roil and wiggle. And as Rowan pulls the needle back out, he didn't go in very far, far enough to pierce the skin, but not so far that we're getting into like ew, gross needle territory. But as he pulls it out, with it you see following this long, thin trail of almost black mucus. It's not vitae. It is not any bodily fluid that you have ever seen or could accurately identify. And he moves the needle and drops it into the jar. And with it follows this line. And it is, for a moment, that science experiment where you, with the jar and the like ball chain, and the ball chain eventually starts, as it's propelling out, it's like arcing up and out of the jar.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So that is kind of what's happening with this ichor, only instead of out of the jar and onto the floor, it is out of your arm and into the jar. Before the thread snaps. And in the bottom of the jar is probably a good, half inch of this viscous black. It is somewhere in between smoke and slime. And the way it moves in the jar, it almost seems sentient. And Sifra is able to place the lid on the jar, close the jar up. So now in the jar is the needle and the ichor. That mark on your arm has faded to an almost dull gray, like a tattoo that sat in the sun for a bit too long.
Yeah.
But it is still present. It is still there. And Thomas, as you kind of begin to process what just occurred, we are going to take a short 5-minute break so that folks can go do bio, grab some extra water, some snackies, comfort item, take a minute to go, what the fuck? And we will be back in 5 minutes.
This break is...
All right, we are back from break. So, Thomas, you just watched the 2 youngest members of the Court of Philadelphia pull still the best word for it is ichor. They pulled Icker out of you, and now your tattoo is looking like low ink. But like there's this, and it's like a one of those goodly sized like quart mason jars,
Yeah,
and it's got
a
this
lot.
Gamja bar looking needle in it, and like a half inch of ichor in the bottom. Go ahead and give me a resolve and awareness, please.
Invites players to convert.
Okay. 3 is good. 3 is very good. You can notice that as you're looking at this ichor in the jar, it does seem to be shifted, and mostly, even though the jar is being held flat, it's kind of like creeping up into one of the corners.
Okay.
Like it is all drawn to one part of the jar. It's not like hugely pronounced, but you can tell that like
There's a
where the surface of the ichor would be flat, it's kind of tilted. So it's like thin back over here, but it's really concentrated and thick
Yeah.
and dark. So, yeah. And you'll hear Rowan just go, "Huh. I wasn't expecting that to work so well."
Told you.
Yep, you
Okay.
get to pick the next movie. And Rowan starts to collect the rest of the ritual items back up and place them in his bag before he turns and looks at you and Sifra. Sifra holding this jar of goo with an iron needle in it. So what would Thomas like to do now? Is he like, okay, crisis averted, y'all can leave now, or do we want to go see where this goo is pointing?
all right. As much as I don't like the idea, we can at least scout and get a good idea of where there could be a leak. Other than that, I don't think we've got what it takes to do anything about it.
No.
I don't like the
But
look on her face.
I may have a cousin I can call. And between Sifra and my cousin, they might be able to do something about this, or at least figure it out a little bit more. I mean, I guess technically she's a cousin of Sifra's too, but I wonder how long it would take her to get up here from Savannah. And he just kind of toddles off, and you see him like pecking at his phone.
I do love that you said you don't trust my facial expression.
Why?
Because if Sifra's looking like that, Thomas is like,
Oh, Sifra is looking at this like a kid that just got a new puppy.
all right.
Like your kid's been asking you for a puppy for months now, and they have jumped through every hoop you have given them. They need to have straight A's. They need to keep their room clean. They need to stay on top of their chores. They need to, learn how to take care of a dog. They need to save up money and buy all of the things to take care of a dog, like a water dish and a food bowl and a crate. And they've jumped through every hoop, and now you're finally like, I'm out of excuses. I have to get this kid a dog. And the look on their face when you get them the dog, that just like, that is the same
Yeah.
energy behind the look on Sifra's face.
Okay. Thomas is beginning to think he is going to regret this, but he figures they need information.
Regret? No.
No regret.
Lots of regret.
That does mean, however, we will be setting up a session that will be Thomas will get to meet the enigmatic Hikata Maggie, which means I will have to have you and Kendall collaborate on. It'll be after break because this is the last thing I'm doing until we're back from break in August, and we've had a chance to do our August session. So we've got time.
Yeah.
Seaver just looks like a kid in a candy store. I got a jar of Oblivion. I got a jar of Oblivion. And guess what I'm going to do with it?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
But anywho. So we're gonna go scout and see where this Icar is pointing.
Yeah. Because he wants to at least know where it could be coming from.
Are we going on foot, or is Thomas taking Rowan, Sifra, and the goo baby into baby?
I don't know what would be.
I don't know if I like that. What if we take your car?
Yeah.
And there is the Sunshine Cleaners van that is downstairs.
It'd be a little more, incognito.
Yes, because the white van with the canary yellow bubble lettering on it that says Sunshine Cleaners and a smiling sun is incognito. It's like one of the big yellow cartoon suns with the smiley face.
Okay, well, honestly, though, Thomas just doesn't. If that jar breaks, he does not want it in his car.
If that jar breaks, I'm never getting it out of the carpeting. So yeah, no, y'all pile into the Sunshine Cleaners van. And for a van that is used by a cleaning company, it's actually kind of nice inside. There is very much a separation of where the passengers go and where the cleaning supplies go. The passenger area is actually fairly well appointed. There is the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and then against the wall opposite the sliding door is a single captain's chair, kind of like a jump seat almost. Mm-hmm. But it is really all Rowan did was take one of the captain's chairs in the van and turn it sideways and just kind of chuck the other one and go, don't need that. So it's up against the side wall of the opposing wall of the van. So there's room for the three of you to sit in this van. Is Thomas riding shotgun, or is Thomas going to take the jump seat?
Well, if he figures it would be best if with Sifra, I guess is Sifra holding.
Yeah, Sifra is not letting go of that jar anytime soon.
Okay. Sifra holding the jar, she should be in the navigator position to direct. So
very well.
Is going to sit in the jump seat.
Okay. And Rowan will get in the driver's seat, and the three of you will take off into the night onto the streets of Philadelphia. And
goo baby.
As Rowan is driving, Sifra seems to be giving him directions based on where the goo is piling. And it does not take long before you find yourselves outside of a very familiar graveyard.
Oh, yes.
It's the same graveyard as the Praetorian assignment. tonight, the lights that are normally on in the graveyard are not. The gate stands closed and locked like it does every night, but there is an emptiness to the graveyard. Normally, there are lights on, and every so often, there's the caretaker that putters around and, tidies things up, removes the old flowers, things like that. Make sure that there are no shithead kids vandalizing the headstones, all of that. But you are able to slip through along on either side of the large wrought iron gate are two man doors, effectively, but one of them stands wide open. So even Sifra would be able to walk through without touching iron. But it does make you hella itchy as you pass that heavy iron gate. Because, hoo boy, there is so much iron in Philadelphia, Sifra.
It's great.
And as the three of you enter into the graveyard, Thomas, once again, you blink, and the world is back in black and white. Which is not a terrible thing, because suddenly what was plunged into darkness is now a little bit more easy to navigate.
Okay.
And as the three of you walk deeper into this cemetery, you find in the middle of the path, the main path leading towards the gate, is a skeleton that is slowly decomposing. And all around it, reaching out for it like grasping fingers, are tendrils of this same black ichor. It has spread like a mycelial network across the ground. And you are watching in real time as this skeleton rapidly decays into dust. Everywhere this ichor has touched has recoiled like a burned nerve. The ground is black, almost scorched. Stones crumble. Steel turns to orange dust. And you can see it radiating from where once stood a mighty and proud marble and granite mausoleum that is now nothing more than a heap of dust and detritus.
We need more jars.
There's not enough jars for this.
We need more Hakata. No, we need to tell Mom. We should go. We need to leave now.
So many jars.
And as Rowan is freaking out and telling the group that they need to leave, Thomas, I need you to make 2 rolls for me. One is a wits and awareness.
Okay.
And how you do on one will affect the difficulty of the other. Okay. Now I need you to make for me an intelligence and resolve. Your difficulty is going to be fairly high. I will let you know if you should use willpower or not. Okay. Hey. You know what? That is the best possible result without a critical. So like the dice bot has been shitty to you where it kind of sort of doesn't matter, but like this was an important one. So I'm glad you got what you got. Yeah, 5 successes. while you don't notice it at first, you feel that tug through your very soul. And when you look down, these tendrils are kind of starting to latch on to your shoes.
Ah, okay. Backing up. Back it up.
So you are able to kind of kick yourself free, but every part of your leather shoes that those tendrils had touched has decayed and turned to dust.
These are nice boots.
So your boots are now damaged. They have what look like rot holes in them now.
Great.
But you did backpedal swiftly enough to prevent from being caught in the clutches of the Icker.
I wonder what happens if
No. Out.
Touching it would be an extraordinarily bad idea, Sifra.
I'm not touching it.
We should back up and we should make calls.
I wonder what happens if I bleed on it.
Don't.
Thomas, give me a charisma and etiquette.
Damn it.
I do like the immediate reaction, though.
Do I get my kindred specialty?
You know what? Yes, you do get your kindred specialty on this one.
Okay.
She's like, shit. Do I get my specialty? Oh, that's a small dice pool for Elmo, isn't it?
I got 3.
Okay, 3. 3
is good.
Better
Okay,
than what it
see,
used to be, but
so Seifer, you can kind of tell that he's not trying to be Thomas about it. He's trying to be responsible about it.
that was there was a slight edge of like almost panic to that.
There was definitely some dad energy too. Like there's definitely some dad energy there. In that, like, don't do that. Why would you do that? That is not a smart thing to do. Yes, you have positions in the court, but I'm, for some reason in my mind, I'm responsible for you right now. So, like, don't do that. I would hate to have to explain to Alicia why the Fae got, why her favorite niece got by the Icker.
Well, Seifer also does fall under his conviction.
Oh, we do love those convictions. They will
you
get you in
think-
trouble every single time.
Do you think a flower might keep it sort of hedged in?
She says flowers, and he immediately thinks of Drew and her flowers.
Because they're the same flowers. They're the same flowers. The flowers that you found down in the sewer, those bright blue flowers,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same kind of flower that's growing out of Drew. Yes.
Okay.
And y'all did, it was your coterie that found out that Sifra was the one making the blue flowers down in the sewer.
Drew. Or Seifer. Seifer?
Sifra was making them. Drew has one
Oh.
growing out of her.
Okay.
That's the connection that you're making.
Oh, okay. I forgot about the Seifer part.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
The plot lines can lay over top of each other sometimes, so I am always happy to provide context and clarification.
Okay. So
Yes, the same flowers that you have seen Sifra make, there is one growing out of Drew.
okay. So are they can they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, you can go ahead and you can give me an intelligence and occult.
Not fighting that one.
Like, yeah, like the correct answer is I don't think there is anybody currently present that knows.
Okay. That's good enough for him?
We can test a theory, but there's no way that any one of you knows exactly what would happen if Sifra made a flower grow near this Oblivion.
Okay. Time science experiments later. Let's go.
Okay. Um, give me a resolve and leadership, Thomas.
Hmm.
You can blood surge if you want. Just okay. Do you want to use any willpower?
We are going to willpower that one.
Okay. Okay.
We.
Three is good. Seifert, do you think 3 successes is enough to kind of like impress upon her that Thomas means business, that we should leave? Combined with Rowan's obvious panic, but like Rowan panics at a lot of stuff, so take that for what you will. But is that enough for Sifra?
I mean, I guess because Thomas would know the whole, running away is absolutely acceptable lesson.
Sometimes you gotta run away.
Especially considering the last time you ran into plant-based shenanigans, not running away cost you a member of your coterie.
Yeah.
So that is definitely a lesson that Thomas would have learned the hard way, is that in this city specifically, running away is an option.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sometimes it is the preferable option.
I guess, can I at least try a little something to curtail it?
Rowan doesn't seem to have a problem with that, but he does look like he's deferring to Thomas for like some sort of consensus. And he'll even say like, I don't see the harm in trying something. I don't
It'll
think
also keep mortals out of it.
I don't think we can make it worse right now unless we touch it.
I could see worse, but okay, quickly.
Okay.
So, Sifra, what is it that you're going to do?
Sifra is going to apply a fairy ward to keep mortals away from the mausoleum and the Ichor, and to keep kindred away from the mausoleum and the Ichor.
Okay. Tell me, how does the Fey ward normally look when you put it down?
It doesn't. You would have to be a Fey or have Fey sight to see it.
Okay. So, to Sifra, how does it look when Sifra applies it?
Like a symbol made out of iridescence.
Okay. And as you draw this iridescent sigil, almost as soon as you, because I'm assuming you're tracing it on the ground with your finger. So as you are laying it down, as fast as you can lay down this iridescent sigil, it begins to shift and change color. It now more closely resembles purple flame. Mostly because you can't have a black flame.
Don't want to test that.
But it also, this iridescent purple flame seems to be brighter than the sigil you laid down. As if the two are synergizing. But you are able to successfully apply the Fey ward.
Quick, walk into it. Let's see what happens.
No. That sounds like a bad idea.
Rowan's just looking at you like, have you lost your rabbit-ass mind? Like, no, we're not walking into it.
So anyone who gets too close will essentially get distracted and move away. That's what it's for.
Okay. All right. Good.
And you will see Rowan kind of step closer to the gates, like he's walking away from this, and he's pulled out his cell phone. And you can hear him as you're moving, talking. He's like, yeah, no, it's like Icker. Yes, like Icker. Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing either, but no, I've already texted cousin Maggie. I don't entirely know where she is because she bebops around the East Coast, but no, Mom, we're being safe.
Still have a jar of Oblivion.
And he'll kind of look over his shoulder and then go back to the phone call. And Dragonfly has a jar of. We'll show you when we get back to the Haven. No, our Haven. I know better than to take anything into your Haven. Because if Dad were still around, he'd kill me. Okay, we'll see you at the Haven. And he hangs up. Okay, the prince has been notified. And she will be waiting at our Haven to inspect the findings. In the meantime, I have called in an out-of-town heavy hitter, but it might take her a bit to get here.
Okay.
Which means she's probably bringing that Servire boyfriend of hers. Yay!
Does that mean we get to see the pink one?
If she's present, I guess. And Thomas will turn back. Folks that, well, a cousin of Benny's and his emotional support Malkavian?
Well,
I mean, it can't be all that bad. He's a Menelayan Bruja, not like a Tyler Bruja. So chances of arson are low, but never zero.
yeah, that's usually how it goes.
And he will guide the two of you back to the van before he just kind of like sinks in the driver's seat. I was not expecting being sheriff to be this. I mean, I figured post-war Philadelphia was going to be at time, but this is between this and the whites in Chinatown.
You got the way funner job.
He'll look over at Sifra. I had a door thrown at me.
Why do people feel the need to continually throw things at you? That seems odd.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm an easy target, and he
Is that
starts
a part
up
of
the
your
van.
curse?
Last I checked, no, but and you sense, Thomas, that there is a history to Rowan being hit by flying objects. Just one of those things that you're like, okay, kid's a magnet for flying shit.
Okay.
Noted.
Remember to duck.
Yeah, always be aware of your surroundings when around Rowan. And so he takes you back to your haven. And in the meantime, he's kind of looking around. I should call Mix LeClaire. They might be able to do some warding on the apartment. Maybe help keep some things out, because I can't help but notice this is, aside from sunproofing, you haven't really taken a whole lot of precautions here, have you?
Never thought about it, to be honest.
Oh, there's a couple of things that I can do. Give me a second. Once the three of you are back in your apartment, you'll see Rowan go into the bag again, and he pulls out what looks like a jar of dirt, like this fine black dirt. One of those lumpy, misshapen candles, and a couple other things. And he goes around and he sprinkles this fine black dirt like across the threshold of your door, on the window sills, you know, just around the apartment where there are potential entrances and exits to your apartment.
Okay.
And he sits in the living room in front of your coffee table, and on a dish he places the candle and lights it, and he pulls out what looks like a needle and thread and passes it off to Sifra, who looks as if she's stitching the air. But like as she moves the needle through places, you actually see the thread on the needle get smaller and smaller. Like it's being used for something. But as you're looking, because your Oblivion sight is still activated, you are watching as slowly each of these ghosts that have populated your apartment are kind of winking out of view. And now, across your windows, you see countless ghostly faces and hands pressed against the glass like they want to get in but cannot.
It's kind of making it worse because the cat is trying to open my door.
That's how you know we're getting into good horror territory, when like the shit in your environment is spiking you. What the fuck was that? Oh, that's right. I live with cats.
She's probably going to bust in like the Kool-Aid Man, given half a chance.
Oh, it's even freakier when the little paws under the door. And they're just like...
She likes to do it in inopportune moments when I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, when you want to get even so much as a minute alone. Just like... I have arrived. Witness me. But yeah, so you're watching these ghosts kind of like not get sucked out, but kind of pushed out. And they are now like pressed up against every window, from the top of the window to the bottom of the window, like just mosaics of faces and hands.
Okay. Thomas does have a question, though.
Yeah.
That it never occurred to him. Can they hurt me when I can see them?
They can hurt you when you can't see them.
And they've just been hanging around and have decided not to?
Well, sometimes you're not important enough. In your day-to-day life, most folks don't register on a Wraith's radar.
Some of them were looking at me.
That becomes a bigger problem the more closely tied to Oblivion you are. It's like, you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
So, like, the Eye of Sauron sees all, but it particularly focuses on you when you wear the ring.
Okay. Great.
So when you tap into this power, wraiths begin to notice you a lot more. You stop to be you cease to be the background and start to be the focus. Leave it go for too long and they could possess you, inhabit your body, and possession is not fun. It doesn't tickle.
Thomas is
I'm
gonna
out of
think happy
thread.
thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts. It's a little bit easier to do now that you know what to do, and as you kind of you try to focus your mind on that night at the club and how Samantha looked on stage and how it felt knowing that you outplayed Caldwell in the opening salvo of this miniature version of the great game. Like there is you think then your mind starts to wander again to like John in the city and how yeah, you got off to a rocky start here, what showing up during Myth Ramadan with just the fullest fucking tummy.
Whoopsie.
But since then you've really done a lot of work to prove yourself a capable member of this city. So like it starts with the thoughts about the club and then it kind of turns and builds. And you think about the life such as it is that you've built here in Philadelphia. And slowly the world fades from black and white and the color begins to bleed in. And you feel that shift where you now no longer see the faces pressed against the window. The needle and thread that Seifer is holding looks like just a needle again. The thread is gone. But Rowan's eyes are still black with those veins that stretch out. And he's looking around before he goes, okay, I think we got them all. Or at least all of the ones we can find right now. And his eyes flick back to normal. So, you've got yourself quite a problem, Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, like how do I keep it from just doing it?
And he hands you the jar of dirt. He says you're going to want to keep reapplying this to the doors and windows anytime the line gets broken.
Okay. And eyeballs?
Practice.
Practice makes perfect.
No. Practice makes progress.
It's a. We'll put it on a flashcard.
Okay.
But yeah, you get the yeah. They tell you that like you can control it by controlling it, which is the most asinine response, but the only accurate one there is.
Okay. Great. He's gonna start carrying sunglasses with him now.
I would recommend sunglasses, big ones. Like I know they don't exactly go with your look, but pit vipers work. They are
Not
like
good enough.
the big. They're like the big visor sunglasses, like the douchey, uh, you know. But I'm sure you could find a color to match your aesthetic. You just need something that's also gonna cover the veins too, because that can be a bit of a problem. But it's the weird thing. Normally, you don't get those unless you are deeper along your travel. So be careful, because this might not be the first Oblivion power you manifest. This might not be the last Oblivion power you manifest.
What, like tentacles?
Some people can.
Yeah.
And you might want to let your coterie know.
Yeah.
Prolonged exposure to this much Oblivion can start to. Well, they can start to experience the same symptoms you have.
It leaks.
And spreads. And consumes. It is pure entropy. It's not something that you can bribe or intimidate or shoot. It simply consumes. Because that's all it knows. That's all it is consumption and decay and the stillness of all things. And the longer you don't get it treated, the faster it will consume you and everyone around you.
Great. Fantastic.
So
the solution is we get it treated.
Yeah, that would be
which
preferred.
means we might be doing and he'll kind of look over at Sifra, Oblivion letting?
It also means we might get to do a ritual with the guru.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Thomas
Aw.
doesn't like that either because he remembers. He remembers
Aw.
Chicago in the early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
As a
could
matter
pump
of
him full of
fact-
fairy dust, see if that works.
As a matter of fact, Thomas, give me a wits and intelligence, please. Because I forgot, you were in Chicago in the 90s. You were there for all of that.
Yeah. Wits and intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Two.
Okay. 2 is good. 2 is enough. 2 is what I was looking for.
Okay.
Thomas, you think back to Chicago and you remember that, yep, there was the wolves, but more importantly, there was a big riot at one point. Like a big riot,
Oh, yeah.
primarily over in Toreador territory. And you remember hearing rumors, stories that there was a Bruja Archon in town. And there is allegations that his servitor was one of the people that started the Toreador riot. And the more you think about it, the more you feel like there is a connection. Because really, how many Bruja servitors can there be in the Camarilla? But that is something to think on for a later date. Because while you can piece together some things from your memory, there are some things that are just, they're a little out there, they're a little hazy. You can't quite recall exact details, but like you remember bits and pieces. And so Rowan looks over at Sifra and says, we should get going. Mom's probably waiting for us back at the Haven.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway,
So if it gets worse, call one of us. Don't forget the dirt. And
you have to keep the candle burning.
and you have to keep the candle burning.
That's why they're so big, so they last longer.
Yeah, you're talking about a pillar candle that's probably like yo big and like that big around.
That's why we
Okay.
make them so big.
Like
It does not smell like a normal candle. And it kind of sputters and pops a little bit. But the flame is strong and the flame is steady. So you get the idea that unless you blow this candle out, it's not really going to go out anytime soon.
Mhm.
Also, because this is my world and I can do whatever the hell I want in it. It's not doing that aggravating thing where it just tunnels along the wick, leaving most of the candle unburned. No, this is one of
Yeah.
those nice candles that like burns evenly. But it does. It looks to be a fairly solid and long burning candle.
Okay.
They're we call them corpse candles.
It keep the corpses away. I don't.
No. Well,
Sort of.
yes, but also, and more importantly, no. It's made out of corpses.
Yep. All right. That's
Fat.
about
It's
the information I need.
it's a process
That's-
called
that's-
saponification that we harvest the corpse wax and
Okay. Science
Yeah.
stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
And Rowan's
Okay.
just like, oh shit, he doesn't care, and I'm doing the autism again. So he just kind of nods and goes, all right, well, we're gonna we're gonna go and
It's 100% recycled.
good luck, don't die.
Yeah. Same to you.
And you should really practice the eyes.
Preferably in the mirror, but maybe
What do you think about to make it happen?
death, decay, the end of all things, ghosts, the
Okay.
spooky stuff.
That was a dumb question. All right. Okay.
But yeah, and he'll just look over at Sifra like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Thank you for coming out to help, and at least we got some information that seems vitally important.
It does very much seem like critical need to know information. And as Rowan turns to leave, Sifra does as well, unless Sifra has one last aside for Thomas before they depart for the evening.
If it starts getting weird again, we can take some more out.
Okay.
And I'll add it to my jar.
Gonna have it labeled.
Maybe.
There are two jokes in my head. One of them I can tell. One of them I cannot.
Keep the second one for later.
The first one is Egon going, I collect mold, spores, and funguses. The other one involves My Little Pony. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
good. You've forgotten that lost bit of internet lore.
I might have.
Anyway. This is as close as I can get without community guidelines shutting us down. Good old
Yeah.
brand risk Einar.
Yeah.
So Rowan and Sifra, they leave, leaving you once again seemingly alone in your apartment. There is still sounds from Drew's room. It does sound like whatever she's doing, she's just been bebopping to herself, staying out of the way. But
Thomas will
What?
at least knock on her door and let her know, don't blow out the candle and don't disturb the black dust.
you're going to see black dust. Do not clean it up. Do not blow out the
Okay.
candle.
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
And when she does open up the door, you would see that she is dressed in like the kind of attire that you would wear if you were going to go work in a garden.
Okay.
Because after all, Drew is preparing to go over and at some point meet up with the Grand Madame to do a bit more gardening.
Andrew, we might need to look into some of your special flowers.
Oh, that would be fun. Any particular kind?
Um, something effective against Oblivion.
I may have something. Let me check my notes.
So you stand there and you wait while Drew toddles over to her bookshelf and grabs one of her journals and starts leafing through. Get it? Leafing. Because she's a plant girl.
There is something here. It uses Oblivion.
Uses it how?
Well, it uses it to generate the plant itself, so it's not just free flowing.
What does the plant do?
It looks black and spiky.
And it just uses the Oblivion to be a flower? Or
Yes.
Yeah. It's like electrolytes. It's what plants crave.
okay. So theoretically putting those flowers next to something like that would just have
Feed the flowers. Yeah.
feed the flowers,
Yes.
like Miracle Grow.
Yes.
Like Vitae nourishes you, Oblivion nourishes these flowers.
Okay.
The
That
only
could be
problem
useful.
is the bushes can get quite large. It would make the area pretty much unpassable.
Well, on the one hand, not great for the area, but on the other, better as a whole. So we're going to file that away as a possibility.
Okay.
And Thomas, is there anything else that you want to tackle this evening? Or are you pretty much at your fill?
That's enough wordness for tonight. Thomas would definitely like to have some prayers.
And as you kneel before your altar and you offer your prayers, you do feel a little bit better. You feel as though the shining light of Mithras is kind of wrapped around you, keeping you safe ish. As safe as one can be in the world of darkness.
Yes.
So, after you've offered your benedictions, how does Thomas spend the rest of his night? Does he go out looking for trouble? Does he stay in, maybe watch television? Does he lay in bed and stare at the ceiling until day sleep takes him?
Half watching TV, probably something that he's already watched a million times. Well, like background, just kind of like thoughts just circling through.
Like the television is
processing.
on for mostly for sound and light.
Yeah.
Like you're not really focused on what's on the screen. It could be Happy Gilmore, it could be Forrest Gump. You're not entirely sure, but there is just the
Noise.
lights are flickering, there is sound, and you feel less isolated, less alone.
Yeah.
You feel for the briefest moment normal. Like you did when you were still alive. Sure, you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. There are fires all across the city that sometimes feel like only you can put out. But at the end of this evening, for the briefest moment, while the TV is drowning out the absolute terror and panic that is no doubt clawing at the back of Thomas's mind, you take a deep and unnecessary breath. And you sigh. Who is the person that Thomas would want to talk to most right now?
His sire.
And you remember that was the whole reason you came to this city, was to find him. Well, that and get away from, no doubt, a swift beheading from Prince Jackson. But like,
Yeah.
this
Right.
city specifically because you heard that your sire had been here. Whatever drove you from Chicago is what drove you from Chicago, but what pulled you to Philadelphia was your sire.
Yes.
And you remember that he was a man that always had the answer to everything. He always seemed to be so well informed, so calm, so cool, so very put together. And you feel as though that is at complete and total odds with what is going on right now. You don't know how to deal with Alexis. You don't know how to deal with the coup. You don't even know how to deal with that very pretty and very infuriating Rose in your coterie, because what the fuck is it? Ever since you have gotten to this godforsaken fucking city, it has been problems with roses after problems with roses. Whether it's Catherine or Laurent or Samantha, there has always been a aggravating, agitating, very pretty Rose just stuck in your fucking craw. And on that note, we will end this session of Philly by Night. This session entitled Where Darkness Rules. Thank you all so very much for coming out. We will go around the table in just a moment. But I would like to thank you all so very much for coming out, for listening to our silly little vampire stories. And at this time, I would like to introduce our player and reintroduce your storytellers to you. So, Mr. Pierce, who are you? Where can we find you? Do you have any fun projects coming up?
I'm Kit. I'm on TikTok. Haven't really been posting anything seriously because I have been tired. But the one thing you can definitely catch me on coming up is Philly by Neon. That's the next project I'm a part of, and that is gonna be something else. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some energy back. We'll get back to more tiki-talkies.
Excellent, excellent. Good.
Fooling around.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it. Bouncing up next to my partner in crime and wonderful co-ST.
Hello. As always, I am Good Day Effects, and tonight I played both C for She and Drew. Drewensha Drakonov.
Who is right now the only Zemitzi in our fair city.
Oh God, you're right.
He can't protect his poor little adopted baby.
I am one of the storytellers here at Philly by Night. I will be speaking on safety concerns for gaming at Gen Con in July. I will be speaking about the same instances regarding internet spaces at the National Organization of Victim Advocacy at the end of also at the end of July. So come and find me and I'll give you a business card.
And as always, I am Einar. You can find me at Einar_TTRPG everywhere but where the skies are blue, where you can find me at InStars Orbit. You can also reach the staff anytime when we're actually paying attention to our social medias. We have TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, where you can find us at Philadelphia by Night. You can find myself and Kit once a month, every month, at the New Guard table. You can also catch me bumming around with the emissaries and our newest baby table, Sireless Behavior. I will also be present at Gen Con at the end of July, beginning of August. You will be able to catch me on a few other different streams here, there, and everywhere. Especially playing a villain over on Basics of the Games 7C stream over on his channel. Run by the wonderful Dan McCurdy. Please absolutely go check them out. They have a great story over there too. And you will also see me sometime in June taking a handful of select players back to the glitz and glam of 1987 Philadelphia. There will be a few familiar faces from a couple different tables here at Philly that will be stepping into the roles of Kindred in the age of excess and neon. So please come check us out. We will be advertising when and where you will be able to find that shortly. And thank you all so very much for coming out. Have a great night. And remember, just because we play monsters doesn't mean we can't be the light in somebody's world. Thank you all so much. Know that you are loved and have a great night.